Don't categorize me like that.
Stop putting me in a box, man.
Stop putting me in a box.
You are that guy.
No, I'm not.
Don't try and change.
I'm not that guy.
Multi-dimensional, man.
Piss off. Hey, get in here and show people. The other day on the podcast,
this is Sal's special move.
The other day,
it's not my special move.
The other day we were on the podcast and we got into reciprocal inhibition and we talked about, you brought up a move that you use that I was not familiar with or I'd never utilized before. So I'd love for you to show me and everybody else.
So here's the deal. A lot of people hip flexor dominant. So when they do core exercises like plank exercises, leg raises, sit-ups, whatever, they end up pulling a lot with the hip flexors. Now here's what we need to keep in mind. If I'm working the core or my abs, this is the motion of the abs, okay? The motion of the abs is here. It's flexing at the spine. The motion of the hip flexors is to flex here at the hips.
Which those are so closely related, so it's very different.
Right, so if I'm doing leg raises, and this is all hip flexors, if I'm doing, this is hip flexors, but people don't realize that. I want this. But a lot of people have trouble with that because they're so hip flexor dominant. Anytime they try to do a core exercises, hip flexors take over.
Dominate that whole exercise.
That's right, so the next movement I'm going to show you is a great way to deactivate the hip flexors so that you can just work the core. It's not a big ab builder. It's just a good exercise to get you the right muscle recruitment pattern.
Okay, so a good person for this is if you are somebody who, if you do abs and you feel a lot in your hip flexors, or
you just get low back pain.
Yeah,
people who do leg raises and feel the low back.
Or you never feel it in your abs, right? If you don't feel this,
you don't get proper engagement.
Exactly. So if you're listening right now and you're somebody who does not feel ab workouts in your abs, or you feel a lot in your hip flexors, you're a perfect person for
keep this in mind though, Adam. There's a lot of people be like, I feel it in my abs, I feel the burn in my abs.
But they're still using
Why when I do leg raises though, my lower back hurts?
Yeah.
Your hip flexors are doing all the work. So let me show you how to do this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna deactivate, let me take my phone out of my pocket, unprepared.
So unprofessional.
You wanna deactivate the hip flexors by activating the muscles that oppose the hip flexors. And in this case, it's the glutes. So this is very easy. You can do this at home. I'm using a bench here. You can use a chair. Doesn't matter. You want to lay on your back, put your heels on the bench or chair or whatever, and you want to elevate the hips just a little bit. So all I'm doing is I'm pushing into the bench and I'm elevating just a little bit. So it's just maybe an inch, and I'm squeezing my glutes. Feel my glutes, Adam. Make sure they're squeezed.
Get in there.
I'll let Justin do that.
So my glutes are activated, which means my hip flexors are relaxed, and I can see right here, I can poke them.
See how far you have the bench out? Does it matter how close the bench is to you? Can I bring it in?
If it's too close to you, then you'll end up just pulling with your hamstring. So I want to have it a little further away than 90 degrees.
Okay.
So right about here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna push in, elevate the hips, squeeze the glutes, hands across the shoulders or behind the head, whatever's more comfortable. And you want to do your crunches while maintaining your hips off the floor. Wow, so while I'm squeezing the glutes, I'm working my
So you really only have about your shoulder blades are the only thing that's really touching.
It's a very short range of motion, and it's harder than it looks. It's harder than it looks because a lot of people with hip flexor dominance, they're going to try doing this and they're going to be like, well, I can't do it because they're so used to activating the hip flexors. So keep the glutes squeezed, hips off the floor, and then do very slow crunches to get that recruitment pattern done properly.
God, I love
this
that.
is a great movement right before you do your other ab exercises. Get the core to fire the way you want, then move on to your...
You're making that good connection
before
you go into like maybe your really heavy weight one or strength one, right?
Exactly.
Love that.